let's talk a little bit more about the money mindset piece. I want to dive into your mind and see, okay, you've got the millions coming in. When it comes to the money that you spend on yourself, because I know you've got money for the team and the business and everything else, what do you like to splurge on, man? What's your like celebration expenses?
Man, I live very, very frugally. Like, I had the same car for like, 5 or 6 years that I only upgraded like last week. And it's like, it's so funny because I get like people like posting on my ads and shit like, oh dude, like, you're driving like this old Mercedes Benz. It's like $12,000 or something. Like if you were so successful, why aren't you in a Lamborghini? And it's like, my answer to that is if that was important to me, then I would go out and do that. Right. But
they put you in a bucket, bro.
Like I could be on a push bike in my next like course trailer. I don't really give a shit, you know what I mean? And it's like, the thing for me is like, I do not look for things that are outside of myself to gain satisfaction. So I'm not looking at constantly upgrading my lifestyle or being on this hedonist treadmill where it's like I'm always chasing that next dopamine hit, right? Have I gone out and bought myself a few nice things? Yes, I have. But like in terms of me, it's like, I wear like pretty much the same clothes every day. I have a black t-shirt and a black pair of jeans. And I'm not like somebody that goes out there and wants to go and buy all this shit to get satisfied, right? I have goals within me and things that I love building things. I like, climbing that next mountain and that next challenge, and that's where I look to get fulfillment, right? It's for me, it's about the challenge and it's about the climb. It's not about I can go out there and get all this money and then I can go and buy all this stupid shit. Like that's not the way that I look at it. I'm very, very simple, like so much to the fact where it's like, my accountant will come to me and he would be like, what are you doing, man? Like, how come you haven't gone out and bought yourself anything nice? Or it's like, why don't you pull more money out of the business or do all of these things? And it's like, well, that's not what I'm doing it for. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't need to wake up every day and come in and make money anymore. That's not what I do this whole thing for. I do it about the impact that I can go out there and create, and using business as a vehicle for change and being able to go into somebody's life and their business and they're struggling to make a profit and they're struggling to make their payroll and their relationships are suffering because of all the financial pressure. And then for me to be able to move into that business and just move a few dials and just blow it up, and take something that's obviously just suffering to survive and just going through the motions, and then being able to basically go in there, twist these dials and just watch that business just explode and become wildly successful. And then looking at what that enables and how that enables that business owner to provide for their family and send their kids through college or give back to a charitable cause or a church or whatever it might be. And then all the people within their personal network that actually look to them for what is possible to achieve in life. Like that's the reason that I go out and get after it. It's not for any of like, treating myself to any nice things. Do you know what I mean? I'm wearing black t-shirts from Uniqlo for $14 a pop, man. It doesn't cost much to sustain my lifestyle.
Dude, I remember seeing a picture of Mark Zuckerberg and Steve Jobs, and I think, or like Bill Gates, and it said, hundreds of billions of dollars and no Gucci belt in sight.
Man.
I think the thing too is, like if you look at the pattern with these guys that are crushing it at such a high level, I think they just like to simplify those things. They want a very practical, straightforward life because like what's brought them to that level of success is by grabbing complex things and simplifying it and really just scaling it across the globe. And it sounds like you're doing the same kind of thing. And you obviously find your fulfillment, your values are very much in alignment with supporting people, bringing solutions to people, and then like supporting families, and you're fulfilled, bro. You have a family and you've got amazing people around you and a team that cares. That's awesome, dude. And I think a lot of people that haven't experienced that probably think that most of the fulfillment is going to be in the material, and it just sounds like you've reached this awesome level of mature success.
Yeah, like I definitely look at it like in terms of Like I've only got, you know, certain amounts of mental RAM to apply to things. And if I'm thinking about like, what am I wearing every day? Or I'm like, let me go get that Gucci belt, dog. That's what I need. You know what I mean? And I'm thinking about all that stuff all day long. Like it just doesn't make any sense. So like I try to optimize all the areas of my life so I can apply my mental RAM and my horsepower to solve big problems and the things that I want to do, rather than have like decision fatigue and have like 20 pairs of shoes and all these t-shirts and different clothes and all these different cars. Like I don't know how even people do that and how they manage that thing. And my experience is those people that go out there earlier on in their careers and go and spend lavishly on all of these things, is that they have some kind of complex going on in their mind where they want to appear to be a lot more successful than what they are. Because the people that I've always come into contact with that are people that I would deem as being very successful, you know, they're very, very rarely the dude wearing the Gucci belt and the Lambo. It's very rarely the case.
Yeah. I don't know if you know this about me, man, but I used to work in the music industry in America. I used to work with a lot of hip hop artists. And I took what I learned from that industry and brought it into the space that I'm in now. And one of the biggest lessons I learned was that we only have windows of time, you know, and I saw really big hip hop artists that are at the peak. They got, you know, #1 Billboard track. They're crushing it. They're getting all this attention. They have the, you know, $1 million advance. And I saw over and over again, I saw them put so much money into BS things. Like they were buying like rent-a-cars, like really expensive luxury rent-a-cars. They were blowing money on gold chains that were worth hundreds of thousands of dollars and buying everybody drinks at the club. And it was interesting to see that happening with the newer generation. And then I would see the older generation hip hop artists that would be coming in with this, that were no longer inspired, they were desperate. And I even remember a particular artist, I'm not going to mention his name, just out of respect. He came in, and this is a guy that I grew up off listening to in high school. And he was like, I need a hit, man. I need a hit. And it like kind of, the penny dropped, and I was like, oh my God, this is like a drug for these guys. It's like they need the hit. He actually meant a hit record, but I was like, they're looking for that. And the same thing happens in the space that we're in with digital marketing and even, you know, the self-development industry and business, same thing. And you've got to know where your window is, and you've got to know how to play it. And it, like what you do now determines how far out you push that window. And it's about making decisions each day that are, you know, simplifying those complex things and not selling your soul, and it's doing things in an ethical way. And just like the things you mentioned, man, I love the fact that you're a grounded entrepreneur and you're able to share this with my audience, man. It's such a gift, because I feel like a lot of young cats are getting confused, and it's great to have a leader and a mentor like you.
Hey guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure that you click the like button and subscribe. We're dropping a video on YouTube every other day. And if you've got any questions about any of the content that I covered in this video, just basically leave a comment with hashtag HeySabri in the comment section. And every week we're also trying to go through all those questions and get them answered. So go ahead, click subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.